Dear students, welcome to another video tutorial on data structure and algorithm. And today's topic is quick sorting technique. In our previous lecture, we have discussed about selection sort. Okay, so today we will discuss quick sorting technique. So before describing this technique, I want to introduce myself. Myself Niladri Shekhar Paul, and I am working as an assistant professor at Greater Kolkata College of Engineering and Management at Computer Science and Engineering Department. The college is under JIS Group initiative and the college is situated at Badalpur. Now, what is quick sorting technique? Like merge sort, quick sort is also a divide and conquer algorithm. Okay, it picks up an element as pivot and partitions the given array around the picked pivot. It is basically a first sorting algorithm used to sort a list of elements. It took very less time to sort the elements. Its time complexity is less than other sorting algorithms. It is invented by C.A. Hoare. Okay, he is an scientist. Okay. Next, the quicksort algorithm attempts to separate the list of elements into two parts and then sort each part recursively. Okay, so it first divides the list into two parts. Okay, and after that, it will simultaneously sort those two parts. That means it uses divide and conquer strategy. Okay, here pivot element is one of the elements in the list. The list is then divided into two partitions such that all elements to the left of pivot are smaller than the pivot and all the elements to the right of the pivot are greater than or equal to the pivot. Okay, so quicksort is basically a first sorting algorithm used to sort a list of elements. This algorithm is invented by C.A.R. Hoare. The quicksort algorithm attempts to separate the list of elements into two parts and then sort each part recursively. That means it uses the divide and conquer strategy. Here pivot element is one of the elements in the list. Okay, and the list is divided into two partitions such that all elements to the left of pivot are smaller than the pivot and all the elements to the right of pivot are greater than or equal to the pivot. Okay, so what are the steps? Okay, basically there are many different versions of quicksort that pick pivot in different ways. Okay, so here we will always pick the first element as pivot or we can take as last element as pivot. Okay, always pick last element as pivot. Okay, so pick a random element as pivot could be and pick medium as pivot also. Okay, so the key process in quicksort is partition. Okay, target partition is given an array and an element x of array as pivot. Put x at its correct position in sorted array. Okay, and put all smaller elements before x and put all greater elements after x. All this should be done in linear time. Okay, so in the step 1 we will consider the first element of the list as pivot or we can take the last element as pivot. Okay, in our example we have taken okay the last element as or the first element as pivot. We can take any one. Okay, here define two variables I and j. Set I and j to first and last element of the list respectively. Okay, so you have to take two variables I and j. Okay, and I will be set to the first element and j will be set to the last element. Okay, now we'll increment I until list of I is greater than pivot. Okay, and when this condition satisfies we will stop. In the step 4, we will decrement j until list j is less than pivot. Okay, and when this condition satisfied, we will stop. In step 5, if I is less than j, then we will exchange list I and list j. Okay, so if the value of I is less than j, then we will also swap the values of list I and list j. We will repeat this step 3 to 5, okay, until I is greater than j. Okay, and we will exchange the pivot elements with the list of j element. Okay, so we'll exchange the pivot element with list j element. Okay, so in step 1, we will consider the first element of the list as pivot. Okay, in the second step, we will define two variables I and j, and we will set I and j to first and last elements of the list respectively. Next, we will increment I and until list I is greater than pivot, and then we will stop. Next, we will decrement j until list j is less than equals to pivot. Then we will stop. And after that, if I is less than j, then we will exchange the values of list I and list j. Okay. And in the next step, we will repeat 3, 4, and 5 until I is greater than j. Okay. So we will exchange the pivot element with list j element. Okay. So now we'll see an example of selection sorting. Okay. So this is the list of elements. We have to sort this list of elements using quicksort. So the last element we have taken here as a pivot element, and the first element is called the index element. Okay. So we'll first check the first element with the pivot element, whether first element is less than to the pivot element or not. Okay, so here it is not less than. Okay, so we'll increment the position. Okay, so this is the current position. Okay, so we have checked, compare the elements of current position and pivot position. Current position is 11 and pivot position is 7. Okay, so we have checked. Okay, so current is greater than pivot, so there will be no exchange. Okay, so now the current position is at 16. Okay, and 16 is also greater than the pivot element. Okay, so there is no exchange. Next, the current position is element is 2. Okay, and we have checked the position of current element with the last element or the pivot element. Okay, and here we can see that 2 is smaller than the pivot element. Okay, so there will be a swap. Okay, so 2 will go to the index position. Okay, 2 will go to the index position, and the element at the index position will come to the position of 11. Sorry, 2. Okay, as you can see, 2 was here, and it is the index element, as 2 is smaller than the pivot element, so 2 will go to the index position, and the element at the index position will come to the current position. Okay, and now the current position will be incremented by 1, that is, it is now 8, and now the index element is 16. Okay, so index element is now 16. Okay, so we'll now check whether the current position element, that is 8, is smaller than 7 or not. Okay, and the answer is no. Okay, so there will be no change. Okay, next, the current position element is 1, so 1 will be checked with the pivot element. Okay, so 1 is less than the pivot element. Okay, so we can say that there will be a swapping. Okay, so 1 will be swapped with the element which is in the index position. Okay, so as we know that 16 is in the, now index is at 16. Okay, so 1 will be at 16 with this position, and 16 will come to this position. Okay, so as you can see, 1 has came here and 16 will there. Okay, and the current position is at now 9, and the index is now at third position, that is at 11. Okay, so now 9 will be checked with pivot element, that is 7. Okay, so 9 is greater than pivot element, so there will be no exchange. Now the current position is at 4. Okay, 4 is less than the pivot element. Okay, so there is a swapping. Okay, so 4 will move to the this index position, that is 11. Okay, so 4 will come here and 11 will come here. Okay, so 4 has come here, 11 is there, so 11, so now the current position is at 7. Okay, and the index is now at 8. Okay, so there is a now twist. Now the pivot element is the current element. So when there is the pivot element is the current element, then we will swap the pivot element with the index element. Okay, so 7 and 8 position will be swapped. Why it was swapped? Because 7 was the pivot element and now 7 is the current element. Okay, so this 7 will come to the index position. Okay, so 7 has, as you can see, 7 has come to this index position. Okay, so this was the example of selection sorting. Okay, so I am again explaining this one. Okay, so this was the list of elements. The last element we have taken here as pivot, that is 7 is the pivot element. 11, the first element is called the index element, and okay, and first element is also the current element. Okay, so first we will check whether current element is greater than or less than the pivot element. Okay, if the current position element is smaller than the pivot element, then there will be a swapping between current element and the index element. Okay, so here current element is greater than the pivot element. Okay, so there is no exchange. Next, the current position is at second. Okay, so we'll check whether the current position element is greater than or less than the pivot element or not. Okay, so here the current element is greater than the 7. Okay, so there is no exchange. Next, the current element is 2 and 2 is smaller than the pivot element. Okay, so this 2 will go to the index position, that is index position was at 11. Okay, so 2 will move to this 11 and 11 will come to its third position. Okay, so as you can see, 2 has come here and 11 has come here. So now the current position is at 8 and the index is now at 16. Okay, so index has been incremented by 1 and pivot was same as 7. Okay, so now the 8 has been compared with 7. As we know that 8 is greater than 7. Okay, so there is no exchange. Okay, now next the current is at 1. Okay, so we'll check whether 1 is less than 7 or not. Here we can say that 1 is less than 7. Okay, so 1 will move to the index position, that is 16. Okay, so 1 will move here and 16 will come here. Okay, and the current position is incremented by 1 and the index value is now at 11. Okay, so next 9 will be checked with 7. As 9 is greater than 7, there is no exchange. The current value is incremented by 1. Okay, so current is at now 4. So 4 will be checked with 7. As 4 is smaller than 7, so 4 will come to the index value, that is 11. Okay, and 11 will come here. Okay, and the index value has been incremented and current value also incremented. As you can see that the current is position is now at the pivot position. Okay, so the pivot element and the current position are the same values. So when this situation occurs, okay, then we will exchange the pivot element with the index element. Okay, that means 7 will now come to 8 and 8 will come here. Why? because this 7 was the pivot element, and now 7, that pivot element is now the current element. Okay, so it will come to the here. Okay, and it will come there. Okay, so as you can see that 7 has come to its final position. Okay, so basically we have a find two lists. One is less than 7 and another all the elements that are greater than 7. Okay, so we found two lists, list 1 and list 2, and 7 was the pivot element. It came to its final position. Okay, so all the elements that are left hand side of the 7 are smaller, and all the elements that are greater than 7 are came to the right hand side. Okay, so we will do the same thing with list 1 and list 2. Okay, so we'll make the same thing as we did here with the list 1 and list 2. Okay, these are two separate lists. Okay, so now we'll do a C program which will implement quick sorting. Okay, so let's do the C program. So this is our C editor. Okay, we'll go to the file, then new. Okay, and source file. So first we'll take the header files hash include stdir.h. Basically header files are used to store the library functions like printf, scanf. Okay, so that is why we use this header files. Okay, next we'll take another header file hash include conaya.h. Okay, so two header files has been taken. One is stdir.h and another one is conaya.h. Okay, next we'll declare the function. Okay, so void quick short. Okay, so we have to pass the parameters. Okay, first we have to pass the list of array by which we will implement the quick short. Okay, next int first. Okay, for first element, and then int last. Okay, this is the last element. Next we will take the variables, that is int I, j, which will be required. Okay, pivot for pivot element, and temp for swapping. Okay, so basically the logic is if first is less than last. Okay, so if first is less than last, okay, then we will do what? That means first element is less than the last element. Okay, then we will what we will do? Then pivot will be first. Okay, and I will be initialized as first. Okay, and j will be initialized as last. Okay, so the value of I is same as first, and the value of j will be same as last. Okay, so now there is will be a while loop. Okay, so while I is less than j. Okay, if I is less than j, again we will take another while loop, another condition, that is if number of I. Okay, so the position at I position, if is it is less than equals to number of pivot. Okay, and I is less than last. Okay, then it will be I plus plus. Okay, and there is will be another condition, that is if while, okay, that is number of j is greater than number of pivot. Okay, then we can say that j will be minus minus. Okay, so the value of j will be decremented. Okay, so now if I is less than j, okay, then we can say that temp equals to number of I. Okay, we're doing the swapping here. Okay, we are initializing or the value of temp at the number of I, the value of number of I is in temp. Okay, the number of I will be number of j. Okay, this was the swapping, and number of j will now be temp. Okay, so number of j will be now temp. Okay, so outside the if loop, we'll write the temp equals to number of pivot. Okay, and the number of pivot will be number of j. Okay, and number of j will be temp. Okay, so now we'll call the quickshot function. Okay, so quickshot within bracket number comma first is j minus 1. Okay, and again quickshot, okay, number j plus 1 last. Okay, so basically after pivoting, okay, after the pivot element came to its final position, there will be two parts, one its left part, another one is its right part. Okay, so there will be two lists. Okay, so we'll have to do the sorting procedure with both these two process, two lists. Okay, in the left and right. Okay, we'll do the same thing. Okay, so now we'll call the main function. Okay, so this is int main. As you know, every C program must have a C main function, because any C program will start executing from this main function. Okay, so int count, and this is number 25. Okay, this is basically the list of arrays. So here is the printf slash n, how many elements are you going to enter. Okay, I mean how many elements you want to enter. Okay, your answer will be taken through scanf function. Okay, so here scanf in double quotation percentage d comma ampersand count. Okay, next printf slash n, enter percent d element. Okay, so comma, this is count. Okay. So for I equals to 0, I less than count, okay, I plus plus. Here scanf, okay, within double quotation percentage d, comma, ampersand number I. Okay, so this is the for loop to count it. Okay, now we'll call the quick short function. Okay, here it is quick short. This is number comma 0 comma count minus 1. Okay, so after sorting we'll print the elements. Okay, so slash n, so order of sorted elements. Okay, so here for I equals to 0, I less than count, I plus plus. Okay, so here we will print all the elements of number array. Okay, so slash n, not required slash n. Okay, so here we will do percentage d comma number I. Okay, so this is the program. Okay, this is the program of quickshot. Okay, so first save the program and run it, and then we will discuss about this program. Okay. So it is quickshot.c. Okay, I'm now executing it. So there is an error. Scanf. Let's see why is the error. Scanf percent count. Okay, so there is semicolon will be here. Okay, so let's save it and execute, compile and run. So suppose I want to enter 5 elements. The elements are suppose 6, 3, 7, 2, 5. Okay, so as you can see, all the elements are in sorted 2, 3, 5, 6. Okay, so this is the quick short technique. Okay, so as you can see that first we have taken the header files, then quick short function has been defined. Okay, so within quick short the parameters are the array and first and last. Okay, so we have taken these variables. If first is last, then we have taken pivot as the first, I is first, j as last. You can also take pivot as last element also. In our program we have taken pivot as the first element. Okay, so next the value of I is same as the first and j is as the last. Okay, so while I is less than equals to j, this condition, okay, here, while number I is less than number pivot and I is less than last, then value will be I will be incremented, and similarly while number of j is greater than number of pivot, j value of j will be decremented from last to first. Okay, so if I is less than j, then the swapping will be done. Okay, so here temp is equals to number of pivot. Okay, here, okay, here is the swapping is again once again done, and after pivot came to its final position. Okay, we found basically two lists. One is the left hand side of the pivot and the another one is right hand side of the pivot. Okay, So we found two lists here. Next, this is the main function. Okay. As you can main function, we have taken the number of elements, then the elements are taken. Okay. After that, the quick sort function has been called. Okay. And after swapping, the all the elements, sorted elements are printed here. Okay. So this was the program of quick sort. Hope you have understood. So students, this was the program of quick sorting. Okay. You have understood, I think. Okay. How to run the quick sorting, write the C code of quick sorting, and we have also explained how to why quick sort works. Okay. So in your semester program, this quick sort you can given to explain the quick sort, or you have can be given to write the function of quick sort. Okay. So hope you have understood. If you have any doubt, any query, you can write on the comment section. If you have liked my videos, you can subscribe to my channel, or you can visit www.facebook.com/digital classroom Niladri. Okay, to like my pages. So students, thank you for now. See you in the next video tutorial.